Omega Strikers is a 3v3 game, and I am a genuinely huge fan. It's a rich man's Windjammers, or an obscenely rich man's Pong. I'm a huge fan of the characters. I find pretty much all of them to be fun to play, except for Kai. All of the characters are cute spins on anime tropes and MOBA archetypes. Frankly, considering how many games there are with anime aesthetics and how many low-rent MOBAs have come and gone, Omega Strikers is astonishingly good and punches well above its weight class. Every mode is fairly fast, meaning that I don't feel too bad when I'm losing, and I quite like winning. There's also no text chat, and I consider that a feature rather than an omission. The world of Omega Strikers takes place in Aten City, somewhere on Earth. Aten is home to many of our characters. Some of them, like Asher, grew up in its rougher side, though not all of them are from the metropole. Zentaro is from a faraway village, and Drekar is from another world entirely. And speaking of Drekar, this is a world of more than just humans. Oni, Japanese demons, aliens, slime girls, they're not unheard of. In isolated villages, they might be enemies of humans, but in the big city, they stand side by side, people like you and me. There are even larger differences between the world of Omega Strikers and our world. This world has Omega Energy, a strange and unpredictable power. Thanks to Omega Energy, all sorts of wondrous things are possible. That includes the game of Core Strike. Think about it this way. In the world of Pokemon, everyone wants to talk about Pokemon. In Street Fighter, they just want to discuss street fighting. In the world of Fast and Furious, everyone races. And in the world of Omega Strikers, they're all hot. They also play Core Strike. There are amateur leagues, pro leagues, and everything in between. The characters in Omega Strikers take on the role of pro league players. So without further ado, let's look at the lore of the most iconic team, Frostfire, including Juliet, Estelle, and Dubu.
Winning never gets old.
Estelle, one of Core Strike's greatest players in history. The youngest player to ever claim a championship, followed by years of accolades in the Pro League. Adoring crowds loved her. Fans loved her. Sponsors loved her. She was a woman of renowned taste who loved haute couture and the high life. When a young upstart named Kai broke her record at the age of 15, Estelle was empowered by the cheering of her fans, and she sent the rookie player back down the ladder with an incredible victory.
Time to knock you down a peg, Kai.
She was at the top of her game, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Estelle was a living legend when Kai asked for help from his old friend Era. Kai and Era together dethroned Estelle, utterly obliterating her and taking her championship in a shocking victory. At that moment of defeat, Estelle felt her passion for the game fade, and she went into retirement, turning her sights to other interests. She became a world-famous supermodel, and from there she appeared on advertisements, blockbuster movies, and merch of every shape and size. Time passed. One day, a wealthy mogul approached her, saying that Estelle could be the star of a huge and upcoming pro league team. She said yes, not because of the crowd, or the fame, or the fortune, but because she realized she had a burning need to win. Estelle needed teammates, and the first one scouted was the perfect match for Estelle's old-school cool.
This is just the beginning!
Her name was Juliet, and with her came the creature, Dubu. Juliet had always had a passion for Core Strike, much like Estelle. But it's more than a love of the game, it's a contagious excitement. Juliet was raised in the streets of Aten City by her grandmother, and she spent all her free time smacking the core and training to be better. After all, she had to measure up to her idol Estelle. Since she was too young for the amateur leagues, she spent years in back alley pickup games with other players far older than her, in hopes of sharpening her steel faster. Usually that meant she'd end up with her butt kicked and knees bruised, but that didn't stop her. The only thing getting in the way of her Core Strike career was money. As her grandmother got older, she started working at a local sundubu shop. That's a Korean fried tofu stew. One day, while taking out the trash, she discovered a small hamster-like creature in the dumpster. Because she had a heart, she took the creature out and fed it some tofu. To this day, nobody knows where he's from or what he is, only that he really liked tofu, hence his name, Dubu, or tofu in Korean. Soon enough, he grew to massive size, towering over Juliet. He'd follow her everywhere, waiting outside of classrooms at school, helping her work at the sundubu shop, and soon, playing alongside her on Core Strike fields. He was the stalwart defender, and always came to her aid when those aforementioned older players would bully her, steal her gear, or kick her butt. Dubu loved protecting his dear Juliet, and soon they made a perfect pair. Juliet wanted to win at Core Strike more than anything. She wanted to go pro, and she wanted to get good. And when the wealthy mogul was looking for more members of Frostfire to complement Estelle, well, it didn't matter who else was in the running. Juliet wanted it more, and Dubu wanted to go where Juliet went. And hopefully, with the help of Estelle, that meant they'd be going to the top ranks of the Pro League. Hey, thanks for watching. This is a little different, but it's for a game I like. And I'm not charging patrons or anything, and I think it's cute and fun. Give me a like, and I would love to hear who you main in Omega Strikers. In the meantime, thank you, and goodbye, and go Strike!